What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this video. I'm down here at Summit Point Raceway for a track day with Evolve GT. I'm close to the main straight, so I'm keeping you inside right now. It's a little noisy out here for a track day. Was racing here this past weekend, and I'm just back to just spin a bunch of laps and really try to get comfortable on my bike again, just get comfortable riding. Remember my brake markers and things like that. We got a very minimal setup going. Truck and trailer, bike on warmers. Nice and simple, kind of the way I like it. But just spinning laps, having fun. Hopefully gonna get down to some 19s today. That's my goal. Just biggest above the lap time goal though is just be comfortable again. Cause like even racing this past weekend, I was just on the bike, just not feeling like I know how to ride a motorcycle. And I do know how to ride a motorcycle, or I used to at least. So today, focusing on that, spin some laps, nothing crazy, not trying to set the world on fire, but having a good time. See you guys out there. Alright guys, so that was pretty insane. Came onto the front straight and saw the red flag. Came up into turn 3, and as I'm sure you'll see from that footage, bikes everywhere, people everywhere, oil, there's a whole line of oil all the way across the track in turn 3. So they got it cleaned up, everyone was alright, there were no serious injuries thankfully, but I've elected to sit out the last session before lunch, hopefully let that do its thing and clean up a little bit more, but after lunch going back out, hopefully put in some more good times, because that last session I was just about matching what I was doing on Saturday when I was racing. I was a couple tenths off of that, so that's huge. It's just all comfortability. I'm just remembering how to ride a motorcycle right now, and just like remembering my brake, not even brake points, it's more so a power thing, like getting on the throttle and having confidence in the rear end. I know the tires can handle it, the Pirellis are badass, so I'm not worried about that. It's all up here right now. But coming out, second session of the day, throwing down some 20s around Summit Point on an SV650. It's not a bad day, so hopefully it's just gonna keep on going in the right direction. See you guys. First session after lunch break, about to go out. Hopefully gonna be put in, I'm shooting for some 19s, get some better pace in. We'll see what happens. So this session I'm rolling out with my buddy Pat Mann, who's a coach for Evolve GT. You'll see him come up next to side by side to be on the straightaway. He wanted to see who could brake later into turn 1 for the first time out. There he is right there, but I was having none of that. I rode with him and Dave Martino this session. Both of them are on new R1s, and you know, I'm out there on my SV650, but it's always a blast riding with those guys, and I got some great footage for it, and I also ended up putting in my best time of the year so far on the second lap, which I'll come back and talk to you guys about when it happens. Once those two blasted by me right there, that's Pat on the left and Dave on the right, I knew it was time to have some fun. And granted, there aren't R1s, but I still wanted to keep up and see what I could make happen. But watching Pat come out of here, his tire was a little shredded, but he's just laying down a big old fat black line all the way up and through there. I knew that I wasn't going to catch him in this section, obviously. They're on R1s, and I'm on an SV650, but coming into the back section, I knew I had to push if I wanted to get around him and at least show him a wheel. So this is the lap that turned into a 119, and I make up a lot of time in this back section on him, as you'll see. Granted, we come up on a bit of traffic, which ends up helping me out and slowing them down a little more than it slows me down. I've done a lot of riding with Pat, and I trust the guy quite a bit. Don't mind getting too close to him at all. And he really thought he was going to come back up my inside. I was having none of that either. So right across the line here, I look down, I see a 119.9, and honestly, I'm stoked with that at this point. It's faster than anything I've done this year, or all weekend, or all day long at this point. And it's getting way, way closer to where I need to be competitive racing here at Summit. So after that one, Pat's still, his rear end's kicking out in front of me, but after that one I was just stoked and out there and having a blast. So kept on putting in some good laps. Thought about making a move up his inside, but it's just a track day, not a race. No point in putting that risk out there. But here's I put a pretty good pass on him here. We get a little close. Like I said, ridden with Pat a lot. Trust the guy. Great rider. Here's where he gets a little crazy though. On tip into that corner, he was just about onto the grass, but shaking his head with displeasure with himself. But this is the session I threw in the 119. It was a 119.9 I put in, but considering, I'll happily take it for a track day session. That session was awesome. I'm sure you'll see from those clips, I had some great riding with my buddies Pat and Dave Martino, and Pat Mann and Dave Martino. Those were the two guys on the R1s that came by me on the straight, and it was a fun riding with them, and actually I got a 19 that lap. I was behind them, so I'm stoked. My goal for the day was to get back down into the...
Attention into paddock, E3, 10 minutes.
My goal for the day was just to get down to the 19s and just put in a few 19s and just get comfortable there again, and now that I've done that, I'm feeling way better about myself and about my riding, and just feeling like I'm remembering what's going on, feeling like the bike's working better as I'm going faster, because it's set up so aggressively that it needs to be going that fast to feel good. Everything's just feeling great. Clicked off a 19, go out there again for this next session, try to do it again, and if I do, honestly, I might just pack it up and call it a day. I'm happy with that. No reason to keep on killing myself for nothing, but so far so good. Let's hope these next sessions continue this way. I'm gonna use this clip as kind of just a walkthrough of what I do for a lap at Summit Point. So braking, obviously, I think a tendency here is for people to tip in turn 1 early, and honestly, I'm even tipping in early here. But the whole goal there is to get the good drive coming out of 1 and 2. So you want to get the bike stopped and turned and then pointed in the right direction. Turn 3, easily a super deceiving and super tricky turn. I think the biggest thing that'll help anyone through there if you're struggling is your vision, because it's so easy to get fixated straight ahead. Turn 4, absolutely terrifying with the big bump, but just about, I should be wide open, but I'm not. And then turn 5 there, a lot of people shoot all the way out to the right. You don't need to. Stay mid-track before tipping. Here we have turn 6 and 7. I always grab an upshift while I'm leaned over, short shift the bike. That way I don't need to be shifting it right here, and I can carry that gear all the way out of 9. The whole back section there is just a big setup for turn 9 and the straightaway down to turn 10. So if you rush that long right and the flop left, you're going to be screwing yourself for turn 9. So rushing it's not doing anything good. And then here in turn 10, it's an off-camber corner. Although it may not seem like it is. So you can carry more speed than there, and that's just a few quick little tips for Summit Point. So that's a wrap on the day. I ended up skipping the last session. In my the last one I did ride, I was just feeling a little, I don't know, just feeling like my mind was elsewhere, so I decided to just pack it up for the day. I met my goal of the day with the 119 I did, so I'm cool with that. The fact that I was racing here Saturday and the best lap I could manage was a 20 flat, and that today, during a track day, that was relatively crowded. I mean, not crowded, but the advanced group was, there were a lot of people out there. And then I was able to go out there and still manage to do a 119, which is faster than I went while I was racing. I'm stoked. Very stoked with that. Just, I needed to spin the laps more than anything, just get comfortable on my motorcycle again. But the bike has suffered some damage, unfortunately. The old exhaust is, I think, finally seen her day in the sun. But other than that, this thing held up phenomenally. The Metric Devil Moto suspension, as always, is on point. The thing handles like a dream, no issues, and yeah, so it's, the bike is there. It's now the rest of it's up here, so hopefully we can get rolling in a week or two here. All right, on my way back to Pennsylvania, 3 hours ahead of me. I just want to do a little, almost for myself more than the video, even a little mental debrief of the day. I was racing on Saturday. I got 3 sprints in and 2 rounds of practice, which was really the first time riding my bike this year. And then we had some stuff happen. We had to leave Saturday night, and then I came back for Sunday night to hang out Monday with Evolve and rode all day. And the biggest thing I was looking to do is, during the races, I was using the majority of my fork travel, but at the same time I was only using probably about 1/3 of what the shock had to give me. And I was also 2 seconds off of my previous best lap time at Summit. So the goal was to stop using the fork so much, to stop using the just slamming it down, braking so hard, and then being so ginger on the throttle, because that's what I was doing. I just wasn't using the shock and I was using all the forks, so that's a clear indication of brake, 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 and then gentle on the throttle. So that was the focus today, and overall off the bat I was going out and putting down 22s and 21s and 20s, which is, considering, again, I haven't ridden much this year, to go out there during a relatively, not crowded, but you know, it was a full racetrack, and to be able to put in those times on an SV, I was pretty happy about that. I feel like the biggest thing though is, compared to even this morning, to the last session I rode, just how comfortable I feel on my bike again. Like, it just feels like my motorcycle, and I know what's going on, and I recognize all the feelings it's giving me, and yeah, just getting comfortable riding the thing hard. Going out there and being able to click off 20s and 19s is a must for endurance racing, so being able to go out there today at a track and just click off a bunch of 20s and a few 19s sprinkled in there, I was really okay with that and really happy with that. Overall, very awesome day. I cannot thank Evolve GT enough for having me out, and they've been supporting me for years. And Evolve GT, if you're looking to do a track day on the East Coast or in the Northeast, check them out. But overall, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.